All right, good evening and welcome. And now we present WKU's 2020 Homecoming Queen Court. Ladies and gentlemen, here are this year's 28 candidates for the 2020 Homecoming Queen. In alphabetical order, our 28 candidates are first, Kate Adams of Murray, daughter of Chip Adams and the late Jill Adams. She's a human resources management major and finance minor and is sponsored by WKU Panhellenic Association and Interfraternity Council. Ms. Adams is escorted by Mr. Clay Francis. Harper Anderson of Moorhead, daughter of Joe and Jennifer Anderson. She is a political science, criminology, and sociology major and is sponsored by Kappa Delta and Phi Gamma Delta. Ms. Anderson is escorted by Mr. Nathan Terrell. Kyria Braden of Nashville, Tennessee, daughter of Carlton Burton and Charlotta Braden. She is a marketing major and is sponsored by Campus Activities Board and Black Student Alliance. Ms. Braden is escorted by Mr. Hannah Lightsey. Julia Butler of Crestwood, daughter of Terry and Kirsten Butler. She's a special elementary education major and is sponsored by Omega Phi Alpha and Kappa Sigma. Ms. Butler is escorted by Mr. Cody Okert. Tamaya Calloway of Winchester, daughter of Chris and Tammy Calloway. She's a fashion merchandising major and is sponsored by National Panhellenic Council. Ms. Calloway is escorted by Mr. Daniel Gilpupo. Talicia Downing of Lexington. She is a social work and organizational leadership major and is sponsored by Alpha Kappa Psi. Ms. Downing is escorted by Mr. Cayman White. Eliza Finn of Evansville, Indiana, the daughter of Kyle Finn and Conchetta Schoon. She's a strategic marketing major and is sponsored by Alpha Xi Delta and Lambda Chi Alpha. Ms. Finn is escorted by Mr. Will Harris. Morgan Garrison of Cross Plains, Tennessee, the daughter of John and Rebecca Rep. She's an agriculture major with a concentration in agronomy and is sponsored by Sigma Alpha, Farmhouse, and Alpha Tau Omega. Ms. Garrison is escorted by Mr. Graydon McDowell. Emma Greenwood of Louisville, daughter of Kevin and Christy Greenwood. She is a nursing major and sponsored by St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Newman Center. Ms. Greenwood is escorted by Mr. Ryan Greenwood. Jaslyn Hamilton of Louisville, daughter of Maurice Hamilton and Romy Hill. She's a broadcast journalism major and is sponsored by WKU Student Accessibility Resource Center. Ms. Hamilton is escorted by Mr. Maxwell Brown. Sarah Harn of Liberty, daughter of Toddy and Crystal Harn. She's a communications science and disorders major and is sponsored by Alpha Delta Pi, Alpha Gamma Rho, and Delta Tau Delta. Ms. Harn is escorted by Mr. Austin Harn. Ashley Hecklinger of Paducah, the daughter of Steve and Laura Hecklinger. She's a biology major and is sponsored by Phi Sigma Pi. Ms. Hecklinger is escorted by Mr. Spencer Smith. Lizzie Loy of Jamestown, the daughter of John and Stacy Loy. She's a communication sciences and disorders major and is sponsored by WKU Best Buddies. Ms. Loy is escorted by Mr. Alan Wells. Michaela Mack of Williamsburg, the daughter of Craig and Joy Mack. She's an exercise science major and is sponsored by Exercise Science Club. Ms. Mack is escorted by Mr. Daniel Smalling. Elizabeth Medley of Springfield, the daughter of Tony and Julie Medley. She's a broadcasting and criminology major and is sponsored by Rho Lambda. Ms. Medley is escorted by Mr. Miles Newton. Abigail Miles of Louisville, the daughter of Beth Fox. She's a mathematical economics major and a finance and applied statistics minor and is sponsored by Phi Mu and Sigma Alpha Epsilon. Ms. Miles is escorted by Mr. Lathan Lamar. Taylor Grace Mingo of Stanford, the daughter of Chris and Jamie Mingo. She's a marketing major with a concentration in sales and is sponsored by the WKU Student Alumni Ambassadors. Ms. Mingo is escorted by Mr. Teron Mitchell. Carly Nunn of Glasgow, the daughter of Steve and Christy Nunn. She's a Communication Sciences and Disorders major and is sponsored by Baptist Campus Ministry. Ms. Nunn is escorted by Mr. Cole Wilson. Zena Pear of Alvaton, the daughter of Dr. Grady H. and Cindy Pear. She's an Economics, International Business, and Corporate and Organizational Communication major, and she is sponsored by Women in Business. Ms. Pear is escorted by her brother, Mr. Granite Pear. Sydney Riley of Mount Washington, the daughter of Brian and Julie Riley. She's an exercise science major. She's sponsored by Delta Zeta and Sigma Chi. Ms. Riley is escorted by Mr. Gavi Marchand. Haley Rader of Carmi, Illinois, the daughter of John and Amy Rader. She's a broadcasting major and is sponsored by Alpha Gamma Delta and Sigma Phi Epsilon. Ms. Rader is escorted by Mr. Noah Moore. Megan Rowe of Winchester, the daughter of Roger and Heather Rowe. She's a biology and chemistry major and is sponsored by Chi Omega and Pi Kappa Alpha. Ms. Rowe is escorted by Mr. Eric Berry. Maddie Sennett of Louisville, the daughter of Jim and Della Sennett. She's a fashion, merchandising, and journalism major and is sponsored by Phi Upsilon Omicron and Fashion Incorporated. Ms. Sennett is escorted by Mr. Garrett Edmonds. Jinsey Stinson of Munfordville, the daughter of Jimmy and Julie Stinson. She's a marketing and business data analytics major and is sponsored by Delta Sigma Pi. Ms. Stinson is escorted by Mr. Benjamin David. Emily Tinsley of Marion, the daughter of Roger and Pam Tinsley. She's a marketing major and is sponsored by Honors Toppers. Ms. Tinsley is escorted by Mr. Seth Newby. Emily Toombs of Maysville, the daughter of Tom Toombs and Karen Dawson. She's a family and consumer sciences education major and American Sign Language minor. She is sponsored by Sigma Kappa and Phi Delta Theta. Ms. Toombs is escorted by Mr. Will Downing. Carson Walling of Spring Hill, Tennessee, the daughter of Jerry and Lee Walling. She's a marketing major and is sponsored by WKU Spirit Masters. Ms. Walling is escorted by Mr. Aaron Graybeal. And Maddie White of Willisburg, the daughter of David and Donna White. She's a Communication Sciences and Disorders major and is sponsored by Alpha Omicron Pi and Kappa Alpha Order. Ms. White is escorted by Mr. C.J. Hickman. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 WKU Homecoming Queen candidates. And now, Mrs. Allison Taylor, WKU's 2019 Homecoming Queen, will assist WKU President Dr. Timothy Caboni in the crowning of this year's Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, the second runner-up, Ms. Maddie White. Congratulations, Maddie. And now your first runner-up, Ms. Megan Rowe. Congratulations, Megan. And now your 2020 Western Kentucky University Homecoming Queen, Ms. Sarah Harn. Congratulations to our 2020 Homecoming Queen, Sarah Harn, and all of the 2020 Homecoming Queen candidates.